All right, welcome back. Harmless Dave here over on the Real Media Observer, observing the media and also observing Marjorie Taylor Greene's epic speech on the House floor. And I realized at that moment, folks, and if you haven't realized this, there is a political realignment that is taking place in the United States of America. The pro-America crowd were not evil, nationalistic, authoritarians. No, the whole realignment has to do with the individual voter versus the corporation, the Borg, the military and medical and information industrial complexes, right? So Marjorie Taylor Greene, I was watching this and I said to myself, this is like something a Democrat, a conservative Democrat would have done like 40 or 50 years ago on the House floor. Say the Vietnam War was still in progress. Mr. Speaker, I stand here today to tell you that we're sending billions of dollars, or maybe millions back in those days, but in today's dollars, I'm sure it was billions of dollars to an endless war, a quagmire in Vietnam where our brave soldiers are being killed each day. This is not in our vital national interest. And as soon as you say that, in those days, this is what happened. Well, you must be a communist. You must be a communist because we're trying to fight the commies. And if we don't defeat the commies, then they're going to come and defeat us. And again, all the scaremongering, all of the dis and misinformation, right? And so Marjorie Taylor Greene takes that message from like 1974, right? And she implants it into 2022. Now, I don't care if you don't like her politics, like on abortion and stuff like that. It's interesting, though, that this happens with the baby formula, right? With the backdrop of this whole abortion issue. And I'm wondering, do we really don't like kids? We are hell-bent on not taking care of our kids. And whether it's prior to birth or after birth, it doesn't seem like America is a nation that cherishes kids anymore. And the crap that they're teaching in schools. And then, you call them out. You go to a school board meeting. You just say basic things like, hey, I don't think Johnny in second grade should be learning about this crap, this perverted, bizarro world, alternate universe crap, and the media loses it. Right. But that's a side hustle. All right. It's an important issue. But here we are now faced with, okay, we're going to give $44 billion to Ukraine and we have no baby formula. If you haven't seen her speech, go watch it. Go watch it. Because nobody in the House of Representatives has any testicular fortitude. Just very few people have it. Thomas Massie has it. Marjorie Taylor Greene. I haven't heard from Matt Gaetz in a while, but he every so often would say something. That Hawthorne character who they're trying to say that he did all this stuff, just crazy allegations. So he'll shut up because he knows now how, the sausage is made in DC and that you have to go with a certain crowd. You have to believe that certain things are excusable and sweep them under the rug. It's like the Comet Pizza thing, if you know what I'm talking about. I mean, so she gets up, she gives this epic speech, and then some loser, right, from, I don't know what state, I'm thinking New York, gets up there and says, well, this was just a bunch of Russian disinformation that Marjorie Taylor Greene, that's what they just implied, and we have to give this money away, and anybody who thinks differently is a Russian stooge. They're working for Putin. And I'm sitting there going, you've got to be kidding me. You got people that can't fill up their gas tanks. And if you do, it's double. It's more than double what you paid in the fall of 2020. It's more than double. All right. Now, again, that's an argument flat out for Trump or anybody else who could bring those prices back down. But we've got supply chain issues. We've got food plants that are blowing up or catching on fire. You got Bill Gates out there saying wacky things about another pandemic coming. Really? And he always seems to invest. You know what he's investing in? Bill Gates is investing in biomilk. Biomilk. Milk that's made in a laboratory for kids. Gee, what could go wrong, right? So, and here's another interesting issue that is attached to this. So the mothers who can't get the baby formula, they're making their own baby formula, and there are articles coming out. And I'm not lying. This is just like the people who said, don't do this yourself. Don't get the horse paste. Don't even wait for us because we've got the solution for you, right? So apparently you've got to wait 3 years for the biomilk and by the time the biomilk is available, your newborn or your toddler, whatever, is going to be like 4 or 5 years old. So by then it's kind of too late. I guess it's for the next bunch of kids that we don't care about that are born. You know what? There is a war on children around the world. There is a war on children. And it seems that people haven't put this together. All of those people who are, look, I'm kind of pro-choice because it's a woman's right. Okay. The old argument used to be that safe, legal, and rare. And the rare part was an important component to it. And most people were okay if you're not trying to make this like a form of birth control. I don't care. As long as you do what you're going to do, leave me out of it. I do think we should probably do this less, right? Which would require a modicum of responsibility on the part of those who are engaging in sexual activity. It would require to strap one on or put whatever it is that you're going to do. You're going to get some pills, whatever it is. Some people don't like the pills, and I can see why they don't like the pills. I can see all of the arguments back and forth, right? But it requires some form of responsibility. We don't talk about that. All we talk about is, hey, this is my form of contraceptive. That's what it is. These women now, see, in the old days, I think people were like, yeah, it's okay. I guess it should be legal, but I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to think about it. Now, a lot of these women and men, for that matter, come forward saying, yeah, we should have the right to just kill our kids. And they say it out loud. They just say it out loud, and people are like, what? So we're in a different place when it comes to children now. We don't seem to cherish children. And the other issue is there are people out there who would like to adopt kids because they can't have one themselves. And that's always been an important part of this solution, but nobody really wants to talk about it. And so now there's another reason that people are thinking, I was going to have kids, but now there's no baby formula, And yes, obviously breastfeeding is an option, but not everybody can breastfeed, and not everybody has the time, and not everybody's body works the same way. So this just opens up a big problem, right? That the supply chain has so broken down that you can't get baby formula for your kids, but we could send $44 billion to Ukraine. And the news media covers it like, okay, everybody's doing this. 59 courageous Republicans. There was not one Democrat. So AOC, right, who's supposed to be the champion of the working class, whoever, woman, right? This is a woman's issue, big time woman's. She's all going to be in for the protest the Supreme Court justices. Yep, make their lives miserable. Meantime, women can't find baby formula. So this is a political realignment. And again, you may not like Marjorie Taylor Greene. I like her. I think she's on fire. I think she's saying what people would say. And this is why I think she's a decent representative, because she gets up there and she says what I would say. I'm like, look, I can't get baby formula for my kid, and you're sending $44 billion over there. And then the clown after her gets up there and says something like, well, now that we've heard all of this Russian disinformation, you're like, what? How is this Russian disinformation? I mean, and you're in some time warp at that point where you're thinking these people they have no rebuttal. They have no counterpoint to Marjorie Taylor Greene. They can't say, don't worry, we've got this under control, MTG. We're going to ramp up our baby formula production, or we're going to invest in new manufacturing plants to make more baby food. Nope. That's not what they're going to say. They're going to say, we need to protect the sovereignty of Ukraine. And yet our southern border here in the United States is wide freaking open. Look, I don't care where you are in immigration. Every nation on this planet has sovereignty, because if they didn't have sovereignty, they wouldn't be a nation. It would just be a territory, and there wouldn't be a government, and people could just come and go, and there would be no accountability for those people. And some people, especially few libertarians, think that's fine. And I'm like, no, it's not fine. Who's coming over, and why are they coming over here? And what are they bringing with them? And these are all issues. Look, all these people that want to lock you down and tell you what to do in order to mitigate this and that, they're not concerned about people who are coming over. There's so much hypocrisy on almost every issue. It's really hard to keep up with. But I'm witnessing a political realignment like we haven't seen in decades. There are a group of Republicans, not all of them, believe me, it's a small group. We had 59 defectors. And I think in the Senate, you'll have fewer defectors. You're going to have the Mitt Romneys of the world and the Marco Rubios and the Rick Scotts. All of those people are going to vote, oh yeah, $44 billion to Ukraine. American infrastructure, zero. Thomas Massey said that one bill with a $44 billion that's going to Ukraine, that's as much money as we allocate for our infrastructure each year. That's how much we allocate. It's madness. And, next time you drive over a pothole or you see a bridge that's about to collapse, you can think about all that money that just went over to Ukraine. So kudos to MTG. She's on fire. And it's weird because you put her next to AOC, right? Because they have the initial things, AOC versus MTG. And MTG, hands down, that woman is based. AOC is a poser. She wears shirts that say or dresses that say tax the rich. By the way, the dress is worth thousands of dollars, right? And she's trying to raise awareness. She's not doing crap to tax the rich. Why don't you do that transaction tax on Wall Street? And I bet you we'd have a whole bunch of money in the till to create some baby food. You know what I mean? You might even be able to start your whole baby food business based on that. Somebody gets a grant or a startup loan or something, and then boom, you've got baby food again. My guess is they don't want us to have baby food, which is another reason why I think there's this war on children. And I see it coming from all different angles, and I think we need to get a grip on what's happening to our world and our society. And we need to put down our political idols and our political belief systems and what team I'm supposed to be on. There are no teams anymore. It's us against them. Those are the teams. My team against them. I'm a populist. I'm somebody who wants individuals to succeed, where the government doesn't interfere, but at the same token, the government can still prioritize certain things like baby formula, like helping American citizens and communities and infrastructure before we send our money to a foreign country, by the way, that has zero chance of winning a war against the Russians. Zero. This is what are the odds that Ukraine will defeat Russia? What's it, 800 to 1? I think Russia has played this too soft. I'm just going to be honest. I think they've played it too soft. I think they've been concerned about looking like they're bullies going into this country. I think the best thing they can do, not nuclear, but I think they need to start to take control of the situation and bring it to an end. That's what I think. Because nobody wants to negotiate with them. Nobody wants to use diplomacy with them. So, yeah, do I like war? No, I'm very much anti-war. In this situation, though, it's a drain on our resources. So if the Russians have any mercy on the population of this country, not on the ruling class, but on those of us who work each day, who try to make ends meet, they have to see it from that perspective that we need to do what we need to do here and get it done quickly. Otherwise, economically, the United States is going to collapse. And I think that's the plan. And I don't think the Russians have to care all that much about us in the end. And they're going to say, look, we told you so. We told you not to go down this road and to leave us alone and let us do what we're going to do here. But between the media and the ruling class in both political parties, by the way, it's both parties, it's 100% in the Democratic Party and about, I don't know, 40 or 50 or 60, it's like 60% in the Republican Party. So a vast majority of our elected politicians are for sending our money to a foreign war, which is unwinnable. When have we done that before, huh? All right, people, I'm done with this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, Patreon for $1 a month, and I will see you very, very soon.